Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about updates on Cadillac and Oscar Piastri. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Cadillac, and as we know, they're going to be a new team on the grid in 2026, and for next year, they've signed Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. Now, the thing is, because they're a new team on the grid next year, they don't have any previous cars to test with as part of preparations for next year. As a result, as part of its preparations for next year, Cadillac is using a 2023 car from its engine supplier Ferrari that is running in an all-black livery, and the race has today revealed images from Cadillac and Sergio Perez's Imola Formula 1 test using a borrowed Ferrari. And apparently that is essentially as part of a loan of the car, with Cadillac responsible for operating it. Now, according to the race, the test is not about setup changes, not about chasing performances, but it is about establishing the right internal practices and developing verbal and physical communication in the garage and over the radio. And the race say this is understood to be the second of two test sessions planned by Cadillac to start putting together its mechanics and race engineers plus Ferrari personnel who will work with the team next year as part of the customer relationship. So yeah, testing well underway then for Cadillac. But let's move on to Oscar Piastri, and as we know, he's had a season of two halves. The first half of the season, very strong, and after the Zandvoort Grand Prix in August, he looked like the title favourite, but things haven't gone well for him since then, and now he's been overtaken by his teammate Lando Norris in the driver's standings. And now Piastri has admitted that losing out in McLaren's team order call at the Italian Grand Prix following the Dutch Grand Prix weekend was playing on his mind in his subsequent disastrous Baku Grand Prix weekend. So what happened in Monza? Well, Lando Norris was running in P2 and Piastri was in P3. However, to avoid an undercut from Charles Leclerc in P4, the team decided to pit Piastri first. But then when Norris pitted, he had a slow stop and ended up coming out behind Piastri on the track, and McLaren asked Piastri to hand second place at Monza back to Norris. Now, Piastri did give back the position to Norris, but at the same time he pointed out on the team radio that he felt a slow pit stop was part of racing. And then at the next round in Baku, it was just a disaster for Piastri. He crashed in qualifying, then in the Grand Prix he jumped the start and then ended up crashing on the opening lap. And asked on F1's Beyond the Grid podcast if he understood the reasons why Baku had gone so badly for him, Piastri's first response referred to Monza, with him saying, as quoted by the race, "Ultimately, a combination of quite a few things. Obviously, the race before that was Monza, which I didn't feel was a particularly great weekend from my own performance, and there was obviously what happened with the pit stops. But then also Baku itself, Friday was tough. Things weren't working, I was overdriving. I wasn't very happy with how I was driving, and ultimately probably trying to make up for that a little bit on Saturday. There were some things in the lead up that say that were maybe not the most helpful, and then things that happened on the weekend. We had an engine problem in FP1 that kind of unsettled things a bit. Then I was driving not that well. We were on C6 tyres that weekend that are now notoriously tricky to handle. There were just a lot of little things that kind of added up. I felt like on Saturday my pace was good, but I was trying a little too hard. That was the worst weekend I've ever had in racing, but probably the most useful in some ways." Now, while Piastri stopped short of suggesting that McLaren's team orders were to blame for his mistakes, it's interesting how prominent that thought was in his answer. And as we know, Piastri has not won a race since the Dutch Grand Prix in August, and Norris has basically outperformed Piastri since Baku. But do you think Piastri can recover his form in the last 3 rounds of the season? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.